I'm now talking to John Truman, this young man here. Now, you are from the Royal Air Force, and you've given us the most fantastic, wonderful commentary of the Tucano aircraft that's been doing all the loops, loop-de-loops, and all this, that, and the other. And you were marvellous. So, first of all, you're in the RAF. What is your rank?
Well, I'm a flight lieutenant in the Royal Air Force, and my job this year, as you alluded to, is the 2014 Tucano display manager.
Okay, so you're the manager. What does that mean? How do you manage? What do you manage?
Well, how do I manage is another question, but what I manage is, in essence, I oversee the interaction of the Tucano display team with the public, with the air show and event organisers. I travel to all the locations. I normally fly the spare aircraft to the display locations as well. And what's a real privilege is that I also get to do the commentary, as you said, and speak to the crowds who've turned out to watch the aircraft.
Well, it was very enjoyable, very knowledgeable. I suppose with you being able to fly the thing, it does help.
Well, I suppose, yeah, it does help you to know what you're talking about, but also to describe the sequence as he's going through it. The sequence itself is designed to show primarily the capabilities of both the aircraft and pilot, but also the special livery that we've got on the aircraft for this year, which commemorates the centenary of the start of the First World War.
So who was the pilot?
This year's pilot's Flight Lieutenant Dave Kirby, and like me, he's an instructor at RAF Linton-on-Ouse, where we teach the next generation of RAF fast jet pilots.
So how can you teach a jet pilot in a propeller-driven aircraft?
Well, it's a good question. It's all building blocks. When our students come to us, they've already been selected as to be future fast jet pilots. They've done about 60 hours flying on the Grob Tutor elementary flying aircraft.
A Grob Tutor?
The Grob Tutor. It's a German company who they produce this aircraft, which is our elementary flying trainer.
Oh, so it wasn't a Gob Tutor? Because I tell you what, I could do with a Gob Tutor every now and again, I'll tell you.
Me too, especially when trying to commentate. Occasionally you do get a bit of lip stall.
So it's Grob?
It's Grob Tutor, that's right. So when our students come to us, we do about 120 hours flying training with them, and we teach them all the basics that they're going to need to know as future fast jet pilots, and that's disciplines such as low flying, navigation, formation flying, night flying, how to fly in clouds on instruments, because as you know yourself, the UK weather, as we saw just this morning before the skies cleared, it provides no end of poor weather for us to train in, and these guys, when they finish their training, need to be able to fly in all weathers, day and night.
So is there a big difference between a propeller-driven aircraft and a jet, or is it virtually the same? I mean, I don't know, I'm not a pilot.
Well, as a matter of fact, the Tucano is really a combination of both worlds. Although it's got a propeller on the front, it's driven by a turbojet engine. We call it a turboprop. So you've got a jet engine driving through a gearbox to the propeller, and it provides a really good stepping stone for our guys from the tutor before they go on to fly the brand new Hawk T2 at RAF Valley for their advanced flying training.
So it's like the best of both worlds.
Well, it really is, and what is good about it is it gives you good power to weight for the aircraft. It gives you instantaneous power as well, so you can slam the throttle around and get instant power, but it's also more economical than a pure jet aircraft.
Gosh, and how many pilots do you train a year?
Each year at the moment we've got a throughput of about 30 pilots, which might not sound like an awful lot, but the training that each one of them gets is absolutely first class. And at Linton-on-Ouse, #1 flying training school is the oldest flying training school in the world, certainly the oldest military flying training school. So the training we give them is absolutely first class. You can't get better.
Well, that's absolutely great to see you, great to talk to you. And once again, may I compliment you on what you said on the commentary of your fellow pilot doing all the loops and aerobatics that he did. I thought you did a great job. Thank you very much.
That's very kind of you. It's really all about the display pilot, but I'll take credit where I can.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give him a really big wave. He can see you. He's watching out for you. And that's just about display complete. I think he's probably going to head left to right and give us a bit of a wing waggle before he departs to his next display at Cleethorpes. For anybody who's going to be at the RAF Waddington Air Show next weekend, we're going to be there, so do come and see us. He's waggling his wings to say goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Flight Lieutenant Dave Kirby, the 2014 Royal Air Force Tucano display pilot.